Hey, what's up? This video is an update to the smooth camera for Ninja character video I made a year and a half ago. A lot of people have been asking for the plugin recently, and as Luke here pointed out, I didn't receive a mega grant. So I will be selling the plugin for $20 per person. And what that means is if you're a group of 3, it's $60 total, but don't worry about paying the full amount until your game is successful. Unless you're a massive corporate entity, then contact me and we can discuss pricing. Now, I will be selling it on itch, as Unreal Marketplace has a clause that to sell a plugin, it can't depend on another user's plugin, which of course mine does. If they ever change this, I'll see if I can get everyone codes that bought it on itch and switch over, but I wouldn't count on the clause changing. If you want to see what it looks like before buying, I made a showcase video that should be public now and a demo that is linked below or at this URL. And then you'll also find the store page also linked below. But before ending, I want to go over setting up the plugin. So if you want to pause and purchase before resuming, now is the time to do so. So after purchasing, you're met with a lot of options for downloading, right? So let's quickly go over what each of them means. As of this recording, there's 4 different zip files for 5.0. Half of them are 7 zips, and half of them are regular zips. The reason for this is some people may no longer feel comfortable downloading a regular zip since Google's changes, and for each zip type, there is the inclusion and exclusion of the binary and intermediate folders. And that is so Blueprint only projects don't need to download a code editor to compile the source code. In the case of C++ projects, the inclusion zips are 100 times bigger than the exclusion zips. So if you have slow internet or don't trust binaries from a stranger on the internet, which is reasonable, then the exclusion zips work just fine as they only contain source code. Now, let's go over how to add the plugin to a project and getting it set up. So, we have 2 options for where to place the plugin. We can place it in the marketplace folder of the plugins folder of our engines folder, only if the plugin contains the binaries and intermediate folders, which if you downloaded just the source code, after compilation, those folders will be present, so you can just move it into the marketplace folder. And we can show that quickly by going into the second location that you could place this in and deleting our binaries, and then hitting Control B, or there's other options for building. You can, build selection Control B, or you can just hit the run local Windows debugger and it will run the compilation before, and then we see the binaries into intermediate folders. Once this is done, just right click your U project, generate Visual Studio projects, or whatever IDE you may be using. I don't think that will keep you from compiling the code and having it work in your project. It's more so that it shows up in the Solution Explorer, right? So if you drag and drop the plugin into your plugins folder, this plugins folder might not be there if you don't already have one, and this will most definitely not be showing. Next, that allows us to go into the engine, and then I already have both plugins enabled, but this time you want to enable both plugins, and then we can either restart after enabling or after we set up the input controls. So we'll go into here and we see that Ninja characters here, and project we have smooth Ninja camera. Now, if you're starting just from scratch and both of these plugins are not enabled, you can enable them at the same time, and the restart will work fine. But I assume most people will already have the Ninja character enabled. And then under our project settings, we'll go into input, and you'll add forward or move forward and move right. I think that's the only ones you need to get this working, but of course you can add all of these as well. Then after the restart, what we'll want to do is go into, I don't know what this is called, but in the world override, there will be a game mode. If you're in the ninja character example map, this should be the ninja character game mode, should be selected. For this, we just want to select the smooth ninja game mode, or as I put it here in the project settings, that, and then remove the override. Then, as soon as we hit play, you should be met by this, and that should be it. You're all set. You can start developing. And then what next? So, after getting this far, you might be wondering, are you going to support version X of Unreal Engine? I will support every version that Ninja Character supports. As of right now, that is 4.25 to 5.1, and hopefully by the time this video comes out, 5.1 will be listed on the store page, right? Should be listed down here. Then next, I'm going to work on 4.25 to 4.27 in that order. 4.27 will be last, as I'm currently using it in my own project, Untitled Gravity Game, and I have to be careful not to break my project. However, hopefully this helps getting started, and if you have any questions not answered by the doc, then feel free to email me. Thanks for watching.